physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Thank you. I've waited a long time for this, believe me. I'm not talking about this weekend. I mean, I was away for a long time from concept therapy. I took class. Tell me I don't look it. I don't look like I took my first class. I was married. I had 3 kids, 1966. I can't believe it. Where did the time go? Where the heck did the time go? So I took my first class, and I was so enamored with it. Well, first of all, my ex-husband was a chiropractor, and we got this thing in the mail, and it was concept therapy. I said, "What's that?" He said, "I don't know, that's something that they teach." And I looked at it, and I says, "It's the laws of life. My God, we have to know this." So I dragged him to our first concept therapy class. And he went. He went to several, as a matter of fact. Now, I always remember how he'd be sitting there, and I'd go, and I'd be saying to myself, "Is he getting this? Is he getting this?" You know the story? You know the story, right? Okay, yeah. We are amicably divorced. I mean that. It is amicably. It wasn't always but it is amicably divorced. But I love him because he introduced me to the 2 greatest things, well, aside from my kids, the 2 greatest things in my life, chiropractic and concept therapy. I mean, I wouldn't be here. And I can't imagine life without it. Now, let me ask you something. How many people, when you first took concept therapy, thought that your life was going to be like much easier and a lot more fun? Come on! How many people thought that? No? I mean, when you first went to I'm coming into my first class, and boy, this is great. I'm going to learn all the laws. Life is going to be super from now on. How many people were surprised when things got worse? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I knew I was going to get a divorce because I figured out that the only reason we came together is so I could learn these things and get my kids. But I didn't expect all the other things that happened to me. And let me backtrack. Oh, no. I'll tell you what happened to me, then I'll tell you how concept therapy helped me. I had my house foreclosed, I went into bankruptcy, and I had cancer. Now, I knew the laws. How does that happen? How could you, especially cancer? I want to tell you something about the cancer, because that's the most interesting thing. That was 1993, 94, okay? And I knew, but when I lost 20 pounds and they thought I was my brother's mother, and he's 7 years younger than me, I said, "I think I'm sick." I would not go to a medical doctor because I knew my concepts. See, I knew enough about concept therapy to understand concepts, and I knew mine was my biggest fear in life was cancer. If an expert said, or an authority said to me, "You have cancer," I'm dead. I mean, I had no question in my mind, that will kill me. So I'm going to work on myself first. So fortunately, I knew how to work on myself with, we'll do the physical first, chiropractic, breathing, a few others, some energy healing, food, good nutrition and enzymes and blah, blah, blah. But if I didn't know concept therapy, all that would have gone out the window. The fear would have overwhelmed me. It's concept therapy and chiropractic that I learned that the body heals itself when it has what it needs. And I believed that. And I worked on myself to make absolutely certain that I believed that. And when I knew that I absolutely believed that, that's when I went to a doctor, got a diagnosis, had colon surgery, had to remove a very large tumor 2 weeks later. I was at a Parker seminar teaching, and my daughter called me, and she said, "Mom, you got to come home." I said, "I got to finish my class." So she said, "Okay, make sure you come right home after that." She says, "We're scheduling you for surgery." Apparently it was serious. But this was an interesting thing the doctor said after the surgery. He said, "You had a very large tumor, and we almost had to give you that thing that you wear when you take your colon out." Oh, my God. But he didn't. I mean, obviously, I don't have that. And then he said to me, "This is very odd." He says, "Because the tumor was totally dead. Totally, completely dead tumor." I mean, is that exciting? So I said, "Wow." I said, "That's really great." He never asked me what I did. He didn't ask me what I do with my brain, my mind, what did I eat. He didn't ask me anything. His next statement was, "Now you can have chemotherapy and radiation." So I said, "Why?" He said, to prevent a recurrence. I said, doctor, I know that you know that this stuff is poison. Why would you tell me if you, and he said, I got it all, you know, you're clean, got it all. I said, why would you tell me to do that? He says, that's precaution. Do you know, I had read, I don't know if you know this, but I have read that many oncologists will not give their family cancer drugs. They will not. That they have to prescribe them because that's the protocol. So I said, thank you very much, and I left, and I went on and did. And obviously, it is now, that was 94, this is 2000. I think I'm in pretty good shape, right? Yes, yes. So I thought to myself, because in life, everything has a benefit, right? Every negative thing has a benefit. Okay, so the benefit of cancer, and it really was a benefit for me. For one thing, I stopped hating medicine. I mean, I literally, when I got into chiropractic, I couldn't believe that people still were out there doing the drug and surgery stuff. I mean, I was down on it. I mean, you're not supposed to have that much judgment. So I lost the judgment on it. I was able to see they do as good as, they do some things that are wonderful as nobody else could do. And they did wonderful by me because I'm alive. And I totally lost the judgment. And I understood the doctor couldn't think any differently than what he knew. So faced with something that he had no, like, why is your tumor dead? I don't know. You know, and he's not going to try and figure it out. There wasn't anything he could do except tell me what he knew, which was fine. So it helped me a lot in being able to accept things. Second, I got this great story to tell you. I mean, isn't that a great story? Because most of the reason I'm alive is concept therapy. I haven't got one doubt in my mind about that. Now, I don't think we mentioned that I was a teacher. I taught concept therapy for a number of years. I don't remember how many years. I took my first class. I took my second a week later. That's how much I was inspired. The first class was with Bernie Hignan and Kathy Calhoun. At that time, she was Kathy Calhoun. It was my first. My second class, I don't know if you know Jack Pessin. Anybody know who Jack Pessin was? Jack, I loved Jack because he was New York and Jewish like me. So it was, you know, like, I really could relate to this. So I loved him. He died kind of young, I guess. I mean, he was kind of young. I took classes with lots and lots and lots of people. And then they had this thing come out and it said, can take a training. And I said, oh, God, I want to be a trainer. I want to be a trainer. I want to be a trainer. But I had these 3 little kids. And I said, hey, you know, what am I going to do with them? I can't, you know, I have no place to throw these kids. Well, we had this woman who came and she helped us at night. She would babysit. And she comes in and she had a regular day job. And one day she's like crying. And I said, what's the matter? She says, I don't have my day job. So I didn't want to smile and say, how wonderful, you know, because she's losing all this money. I said, well, I can give you a day job for, I forgot how many days, 3, 4, 5 days, and, you know, and she was thrilled. And it happened that she was losing her job. They gave her some notice. It was like the same time. The concept, now, what would you call that, a coincidence? That is what is called, where's my book? That's vibrational harmony. I was vibrating out there and saying, I really want to take this training. And the universe provided it. I mean, it was sad that they made her lose her job, but what the heck do I care? I got to be a teacher, right?